What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Seal, how's it going over there, bud?
Going good, man. Getting ready to try out for the NFL. They don't test for marijuana, and that's amazing. I'm down for it. I would have had it been tested about 3 days ago, hopefully, 4 days ago. But now they're not doing it for weed anymore, so I can finally have my shot in the NFL. This is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Now they had to add an extra game for that, so you have to play 17 games now. But hey, at least you get to do
Yeah,
it while you're high. But
yeah.
not
We
really.
already we already talked about it a little bit, but I'm excited for
Yeah.
football. The draft is tomorrow now. After when you're listening
Mm.
to this, I'm ready to go, man.
It's gonna be what, all weekend, right? It's like 4 day long. But I mean, obviously the most important day
Yeah,
is
Thursday, Friday,
Thursday.
Saturday.
But yeah, I mean, the Bucks aren't going to do anything. I was going to say I was hoping that this week was going to cause some stories to happen, but really nothing. The Chiefs grabbed that tackle from the Ravens, and that's
Orlando
pretty
Brown.
much it. That's the
Which
only. There was
they
another
needed to
trade
do.
that Washington football team did, but it was like seventh rounders, so that doesn't really affect the draft. So, do you think we're going to get some more trades here before the draft starts, or do
I
you
don't
think they'll
think.
just do it on the day when it's their pick and all that
Yeah,
mess?
I think it's going to be whenever it happens. There's stuff in effects, but like we're learning in this whole Julio Jones situation that there's
Yeah.
like all these weird shit that we thought we've learned in these small prints, but there's even more to it of this whole with Julio Jones trading before June 1st assets,
Right.
and then after June 1st assets as far as like picks in this year's draft. So it seems like that's going to be on hold unless you're willing just to give up the dead cap or whatever the hell that has
Yeah.
to do with that. So I think we're just pretty much where we're going to be. The Orlando Brown thing was always in effect since the end of the season.
Right. Right.
I shouted out trying to get his ass in Jacksonville, but so we knew that was going to happen. It just was a matter of time for that. But who knows how many people were in all these date dead cap bullshits
Yeah.
like Julio Jones.
And obviously, I think there will be some draft day trades as well that just um,
Oh yeah,
change the picks around. But
oh yeah.
yeah, Julio's definitely
Somebody's
going somewhere
yeah,
soon.
somebody's shooting up for some offensive person. I don't think we're gonna have defense until like 13, 14.
That's so crazy because usually the best player in the draft is a defensive player, and it's just how many people want to grab quarterbacks before him.
Yep.
But now the best players are pass
Yeah,
catchers,
if
essentially.
you're in a gambling state and there's anything that about no defense in the first 10 picks, I would bet heavy on that shit.
I mean, that's a good thing to talk about a little bit of best bets. We don't look at the props because it's illegal in both of our states. But if you got the 5 or more quarterbacks, which is normally the bet for first round picks, it's going to go. It's going to hit. All 5 of them are going to go probably in the first 15 picks. But there will be 5 quarterbacks picked in the first round, which is normally the number. Vegas might raise it to 6 because of this, but there will definitely be 5. So if that's a bet, that's my clear-cut favorite. But so no defensive players, a bunch of quarterbacks, a bunch of receivers.
I would do top 10. I just don't. There's nobody. Everybody needs offense except 3 teams in the league.
Yeah, we're gonna get a defender. So at least at
Yeah.
32, there will be a defender picked.
Yeah. The Chiefs will probably either get a lineman or a defensive player. They need defense all day long. They got Orlando Brown, so that's a little bit of the whole
Right.
field. But yeah, there's a lot of teams. Like I heard the discussion about Julio Jones. There's like 3 or 4 teams that are Julio Jones away from going for their conference championship game.
Right.
Like it's insane how skilled these teams are on offense. I mean, there's a good 12 of them that are really fucking good on offense. The Bills really, really good on offense. If they can get that secondary locked in, they're going to be
The
scary as
Packers.
hell. The Packers, yeah.
If
Jordan
they got
Love fucked
Julio,
them.
they'd be locked in.
Yeah, if they would have got shit, who was that kid? What's his name on Denver? Judy.
Oh yeah,
Judy was 15, wasn't he?
I think so.
And they got he was. I think he was right after Jordan Love. They would have got Judy. It's game over, bro.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
But if they can somehow find a way to get Julio without giving up, they don't really have a lot of great pieces, but
yeah. But they have a lot of money to spend.
It's true.
So
we don't really have the storylines, but after the draft, obviously there will be a lot to talk about. It will be our annual draft thing. I've been talking to Eddie, trying to get him to come out and talk about the Steelers when that happens. He says he's down, but he's a busy man, so we'll see. But anyways, moving on from football, I wanted to shout out somebody that finally did something for America. Kristen Pulisic became the first ever American player to score in the Champions League semifinals.
Hell yeah.
So it's sad that it took this long for anyone American to do anything. But I don't even know if Chelsea won. I hate Chelsea, but Christian Pulisic got a goal. So good for him. Good for America. We're getting better and better, except for in the Olympics.
Well, you got to think. I mean, I'm not really too surprised because a lot of other countries, it's all on work and shit. Like we think of the best soccer player we think of is Jason. Kid didn't work.
Right.
Like, and I just feel like that's how a lot of these, I hear Pat McAfee, like he loved soccer. He was really, really good at it, but he just played it. Like he didn't work at it. And everywhere else in the world, these kids are off. Oh, you're good at tennis. You're playing tennis. You're training in tennis. So you're good at soccer. All right, you get out of school, you're doing soccer. You do your homework and you go play soccer like that's your job. Yeah. And it's just, it's not the mindset over here. True. And that's what makes these kids really good at basketball is because they have that mindset. And in football, they have that mindset. It's just not like that in soccer for some reason. The stars get babied and battered or not babied and battered, but babied and kind of coddled and shit. And when they go overseas, they end up getting fucked up and coming back over here in MLS.
If you've seen the Netflix documentary about Antoine Griezmann, he grew up in France. He left his family when he was 8 to go to England, and he lived with his agent so that he could train with the team in England at 8 years old. So it's like, America doesn't do that. No. So you
might get into a really good prep school that's really good at soccer because they got all the good kids, but they practice probably 3 times a week.
Like I don't know. Nice practiced a lot. They had the select teams too, so it was year round, but it was few and far between.
It's year round and stuff. I mean, it's year round over there too. But when you're done playing soccer and your games, you're too tired to do anything else with soccer.
True. Yeah, but shout out to Kristen Pulisic. Shout out to America. The best of the best are looking better there. But I wanted to shift gears and I wanted to talk about someone who works for another program. Just kidding. Well, he does. But Stephen A. Smith came out and he said his top 5 players to not win a championship. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
So in all sports, his top 5 people that have never won a sports championship. Number 5 was Dan Marino. Fair.
Yeah.
Number 4, Carmelo Anthony. Number 3. Who's number 3? Another basketball player that wasn't any good. Oh, Charles Barkley. Number 3, Charles Barkley. My guy, of course.
Yeah, I knew he'd be in there.
Number 2 was a baseball player, I think. Dang it, I don't even remember number 2. I don't really care about number 2. And number 1 was Allen Iverson. So his number 1 player was Allen Iverson in all sports. What do you think? I'm going to go figure out what his number 2 was.
I agree with that. I mean, when you think football, probably the main guy is Dan Marino. That really was he was the best guy. He was kind of flashed by Montana and that day and age, but he was the best over in the AFC night in and night out and just couldn't get over the hump with the defensive side of that team. They won a championship with that. They went undefeated with that. And then they get Dan Marino and just don't do anything. I mean, I was young as shit, but I do remember the day he retired or the day that caused him to retire very clearly. But yeah, I agree with the Dan Marino. For football, that's probably the main guy that didn't win one that comes to mind. Because most of these guys, especially nowadays,
Barry Sanders. But I mean, he just retired early is the only reason he didn't.
Yeah, Barry Sanders. And in that day and age too, with the way free agency is nowadays, they would have definitely won one. So I'd probably put them 4 or 5. Now that we bring up Barry, he was one of the best running backs of all time. And what was it, 8 years?
Right.
7, 8 years he played. And then Allen Iverson, I agree. Number 1, that's who it should be. I like Barkley in there. But
Barkley and
but
Nash both could be in there. Stinking Suns can't do anything.
yeah,
But
yeah. I was thinking Nash was going to be in there, but when I heard Barkley at 3, I figured Barkley
I
gets the
couldn't find who
nod
number 2 was.
for now. Really? That stinks. It's probably on Instagram somewhere.
I think it was like a hockey person or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, and I don't pay attention too much to hockey. I'm sure if Eddie was on here, he would have like 10 people over
Right.
Chuck. That should be on that Mountain Rushmore of no chips. But yeah, I don't disagree with him at all with Allen Iverson being number 1. That would probably be my number 1 for
I
not
mean,
having a chip.
Allen Iverson was definitely the best for a single year where he won the MVP, got his team to a championship, and all the LeBron lovers talk about the help that LeBron had. Allen Iverson had what? Eric Snow. I don't even know who he had on his.
He had AI.
Marcus Camby, I think, was on his team.
He had AI his last year there before he got traded to the Nuggets.
But that wasn't when he faced the Lakers in the finals. He had like nobody. Yeah. I think it was Marcus Camby was like his second best player.
Marcus Camby was raw as fuck though.
Yeah, for sure.
Like raw.
But yeah, so Iverson should have been on that list for sure. I'm sure if we sat and thought about it, all I did was see the headline not too long ago. But if we sat and thought about it, we could probably come up with a few more. Jim Kelly, obviously, losing 4 straight Super Bowls got to put you up at the top. But that's more just like heartbroken. He wasn't the best player in the world. But shout out to Allen.
I saw a list last week, I believe, the top 10 non-Hall of Famers to not be in the Hall of Fame yet. Number 2 was Tony Baselli, and number 8 was Fred Taylor. And I was like, wow, let's go Jags. And no, number 2 was Tony Baselli, and number 8 was Jimmy Smith.
Yeah. I remembered his number 2, by the way. I remembered why is I whited it out from my mind because he's dumb. Barry Bonds was his number 2.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah. And steroids can get you a lot of things. Not a ring, apparently.
So stupid.
Yeah, I just whited that out from my mind. But yeah, no, a lot of the Jags should be Hall of Famers probably. Yeah. It's hard for a guy like Tony Baselli though. Like this, you don't have stats. There's no such thing as stats really.
Yeah.
But if you watch the games, you know that he was very deserving. Brunell, when you look at the stats, he's probably better than a few Hall of Famers from back in the day when all they did was throw interceptions.
Well, the thing with Brunell is though he only had like a 5-year peak, like 5-6-year peak. He played in Jacksonville and then he just kind of backed up after that.
Right.
And whenever Leftwich got there, he just went off.
Rings are very important. At least
he has a ring
in the NFL.
He won a ring with the Saints, I believe. He was there with the Saints when they won.
But come on. Winning a ring is very important. I guess if you say John Elway has 3 rings or whatever he has, then you got to do the same thing for Mark Brunell's ring. Or Steve Young, whoever it was that Joe Montana won a ring for. That was Steve Young, right?
Yeah. Carson Wentz. He got a ring.
That's true.
Shit, Nick Foles has a ring. That's even better.
He actually earned it. Carson Wentz sat on the bench to get his.
He won 3 games.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he won the games. Carson Wentz didn't do anything. They weren't going to win with him.
He played 6 games. I think he won 4 or some shit.
Yeah, he played the last 3 regular season games, right? And then he played the playoffs, obviously. So anyways, let's get to the big story, the main story that I was seeing here hitting up, and it's official in June. Floyd Mayweather is going to come out of retirement, sort of, to fight an exhibition against Logan Paul. Are you even excited? I mean, obviously you'll steal it. We're not going to pay like $90. Sorry, guys. We're honest gentlemen here. But
I'm going to be honest and let them know if you want to. Yeah, come and arrest me.
Right.
But I'm down with it being Logan since it is going to be an exhibition. Jake really needs to start. He's in the limelight. Fucking UFC in Jacksonville. Yeah. Daniel Cormier came up to him and gave him a lot of unneeded publicity about saying he'll smack him in the face if he brings up calling him fat again. Like, bro, you've been fat. You've been tucking you've been tucking your pants in for the last 8 years up into your belly button. Like every time the judge comes up, he's like, "You're good, little high, but you're okay." Like you're tucking your shit way up, bro. You've been fat. Don't let some guy come up, a YouTuber. So I'm happy that it is Logan. I'm happy Floyd's coming out, but what is he, 47 now?
Something like that.
Dude's he's getting old as shit. So, But Logan's going to be the one to get in his face. He's going to be the one to chase him around the ring.
Yeah, but that's what
And
every opponent of Floyd does.
It's the exhibition, so it's not going to be that 12 round wear them out kind of thing. Like Logan's going to be able to go 5 rounds and get up in his face, and hopefully they have these weird rules where they don't do that clinch thing. Right when they get clinched, they break apart. So that's going to go against Floyd's tactics as well. So hey, hopefully we might see Floyd go down and get his ass knocked out, but he's still going to be undefeated.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get knocked out, but you did say he's 47 or whatever he is, and age will catch up. Your chin will stop being your chin. So
I don't know what the weight disparity is going to be, but if I'm imagining it in my mind, it's going to be a good 20, 30 pounds.
They said it's going to be a max of 30 pounds. So if they weigh more than 30 pounds, then it gets canceled. So I don't know if Floyd's going to put on any weight or if he's going to force Logan to not be able to put on weight, which would probably be the smart move. If he says, I'm going to be 160 or whatever, you can't be more than 190. Because Logan, I think, normally weighs in around 200, 205. He's fighting in that class. So for Floyd down there at 160, he'll definitely tell him. He'll be like, I'm not going above 160. So you better figure it out. Because they said the max is 30 pounds. But either way, 30 pounds is a lot of weight. And it's 30 good pounds, too. You know, it's not like Daniel Cormier pounds. This is real.
Logan's
30 pounds.
A lot of muscle.
Yeah, but no, Floyd's fine. He'll barely get touched. He'll do what he wants to do with him and just have a good time and make a few $1 million and head off into the sunset to do it again.
Hopefully, I mean, if Dana White's correct, all that shit's bogus and they're in La La Land and those numbers are whack.
Floyd's numbers or just all boxing numbers?
No, the Thriller, just the whole Thriller thing, saying they sold like 1.3 million pay-per-views and Jake got 10 mil and Askren ended up with like 1.4. He's like, yeah, no, that's all bullshit. I can.
It probably is.
Yeah.
I don't know if they sold that many pay-per-views, but
yeah, I just loved in the post-fight of the UFC, Dana White was on the podium for 22 minutes and he talked about Jake for a good 6.
Right.
So, it's awesome.
Hey, let Jake come over into the octagon for one fight, please.
He will. He's going to. But he's going to do the boxing for a couple years and then just disappear for about 3 or 4 years. And then when he's 28, 29 years old, he's going to come in there and end up being 18-3 like Askren was and disappear and retire when he's 36. But
he's waiting until he can grab the money. He'll come in whenever.
Even if he went into the UFC right now, Dana's not going to like it, but he's always going to be the not the undercard, but he's always going to be the fight right before the main event, right before the championship fights. You're going to.
He'll be the free main event. Or something.
I mean, maybe. I mean, that doesn't. Yeah, that's still. They probably have something with ESPN Plus and ESPN where that still pulls in some kind of revenue. But no, it's all
because the main event of the prelims is always better than the first couple rounds of fights of the main card.
But you got to pay for those first couple fights of shitty fights. So why not throw a Jake Paul fight in there and
against
Jake
CM
Paul,
Punk?
Yeah, and then you have fucking Usman going up against whoever the fuck's going to go up against him next. And yeah, that's just going to add another even if Thriller's getting 1.3 million.
I think it's Triller.
Triller?
Right?
Whatever. Yeah, Triller. It is Triller. Yeah, it's Triller. You're right. But even if they are getting 1.3, probably only 300, 400,000 of them were UFC people looking at Askren. Everybody else is Jake Paul. So if he can get an extra almost million fucking views just to throw Jake Paul in one of the first 2 fights of the pay-per-view, he'll do that all day long.
And Dana will definitely sign that dotted line. He'll talk shit about it all day long, but he'll sign that dotted line.
He talks shit about his fighters all the time. He's not worried about all that. But that's awesome. I'm excited for that. And I want to see Jake again right around that time, if not before.
He might show up. He's got a long list of people ready to fight him, though. He doesn't have to worry. He's just going to pick whichever one gets him the most money and that he can win easily and continue to cruise up. He's not fighting a real boxer just yet. But let's move to the real fighting, as Dana calls it, the real fighting that just happened. One of the best cards of all time, at least of this year.
It was
filled with knockouts. Nobody got to go to the judges.
It was amazing. I got to the fight before the Rose fight.
Okay.
Whichever one that was, I don't know.
Well, that was the broken leg fight, wasn't it?
No. I got to the one right after that.
Oh, gotcha.
and I don't remember who it was because it was that fight. Then Thug Rose.
Shevchenko. Valentina
Yeah, the
Shevchenko.
chick,
Yeah.
And
She's
everybody
badass, dude.
everybody was saying if this
unbelievable.
other chick has a way to beat her, it's gonna be on the ground. She's gonna have to take it to the ground. And she heard all that shit and was like, I'm gonna make sure I beat this bitch on the ground.
Yeah.
And
Because they were like, Valentina's
her
the better
ballerina
striker.
shit.
She wants to stay up. And she was like, no, I can do whatever. I can do it all.
Yeah, that fight was absolutely fucking amazing to watch. The Thug Rose high kick knockout. That's whenever I texted you. Did you just see that?
Right,
It wasn't
right.
the broken leg. It wasn't the final. It was that leg kick is shit we do in our video game and we record it.
Well, it was crazy because it worked exactly like we do in the video game too, where Whaley went to block the body because she thought it was going to go to the body, and then whoop, nope, got you right in the face.
Yeah, and right under her fucking leg was under her arm and blah, just clean as shit, dude.
Yeah,
it was insane. That fight was awesome, and then that last fight, it was when Masvidal.
Usman and Masvidal.
That was a crazy fight. Like Usman isn't a striker, and he's said like I'm adding it. Like that's a tool that's coming. I'm just sharpening my tools. I'm sharpening.
Well, he's got Francis Ngannou in his corner now.
Yeah,
and teaching him striking.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to help. But I just kept hearing everybody say, "Oh, just watch. Masvidal has a whole camp. Masvidal has a whole camp."
Right.
Hey, when you're the attacker too, and you're going up against a new guy in 6 days, you've been training for fucking 3 months on this guy's tactics, and now in 6 days you got to try to prepare for this guy, and now you have muscle memory and up towards all this other shit that you're thinking this other guy's going to do, not thinking about this guy. So yeah, he pulled a Floyd Mayweather. And he did the thing. He got his points, and he won the damn fight. And in this one, he had a full camp too.
Exactly.
And he just keeps sharpening them tools, and he came out striking. And Masvidal got on the ground with him and seemed to be doing it. So Usman said, "All right, let's get back up here." And Masvidal was eating the fuck out of some shots.
He was
smiling.
He was definitely taking a lot of hits.
About 6-7 seconds before that knockout,
he was taunting him a little bit.
He got hit and smiled and was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And then they started talking to the announcers, started talking about it, and then BAM!
And it was like the best video too. Sweat just goes flying off of him.
Have you seen the still photo?
Oh yeah.
Well, just oh my gosh, coming off of his beard. Yeah, that was nuts. Woo-wee.
But
so all right.
Oh, you can.
So real quick, the Thug Rose and the Chinese girl,
Weili Zhang Weili, however.
I'm not even gonna try it. Zhang Weili. Do you agree with the stoppage? Do you not agree with the stoppage?
Yeah,
I agree with it.
I mean, she definitely got rocked.
When she first went down, she was rocked, she was wobbled, and then when Thug Rose came in and with the hammer fist, she went to sleep. It was probably only for 2 seconds. Maybe she woke up and knew where she was, but she had already been concussed. That hammer fist blacked her, even if the lights came right back on.
Exactly.
A lot of permanent damage can happen from that point on. So the ref did what the ref needed to do.
And if it wasn't stopped, it would have just been 5-6 more hammer fists. We've seen that too, sure, she popped back up, but that's just what fighters do. That's their
we
thing.
saw in the Masvidal fight, if Herb Dean, he's getting old, bro.
Yeah, he is.
He's getting old. So 5 years ago, Herb Dean's running, jumping in, just right in between both of them.
Perfectly timed.
Yeah, just right in between both of them, getting them off of them and making sure that second hammer fist that really shut the lights out on Masvidal not to happen. But he kind of went and then came around, and oh shit, he's not moving no more.
Yeah.
And knocked him off of him. But 5 years ago, that second hammer fist wouldn't have happened. But yeah, that could have happened to Jay Wang Lee, if that's what the hell their name is, if that stoppage wouldn't have occurred at that point in time.
And we've seen it happen multiple times. I mean, it's all dependent on the ref, but I think it's a good stoppage. He
definitely saved a couple years of being shaved off her career right then. Yeah,
for sure. And so what I was going to say before I let you finish your point is I wanted to shout out Jorge Masvidal. I don't like the guy, but in the post-fight interview, I don't know if you heard of his interview, but he broke it down very classily, very well. He said he thought Usman was going to shoot, so he ducked down to guard the shot, and then he said the blind punch came through that he didn't go, and so he gave Usman all the credit. He was like, "We trained on that to be a shot," so he knew that, counter trained to make it a punch. So he didn't do his game bred shit that he always does, to where he was talking crap even after losing. He was a classy guy, gave Usman the credit. So it was pretty cool to hear.
Yeah, and I like that too. And the way Jorge's always carried himself, you had to, and I loved him fighting in Jacksonville. I know how guys, you know a little bit about Jacksonville.
Mhm.
Those people, that's Masvidal's people there.
Yeah.
They're all about the violence, just like he is. And they loved him. They booed the shit out of Usman walking in and then cheered Usman walking out. But the whole time they're saying, Jorge, 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 instead of Ole. And
Right.
it was just awesome. But the guy's been in the game almost as he started when he was 17. He's 33, 34 now. So he's been in the game almost as long as he was alive before he got into the game of fighting. So yeah, you got to expect that little bit of swagger. Even in defeat, you're down for the violence. You're down to run round 2 right now. And I, like you, appreciate the fact that he's maturing in his age and becoming wiser, knowing that his chin is getting a little weak, and becoming respectful of these guys that will probably knock you out again. But he's going to make another $3 million getting knocked out. So.
Oh, absolutely. So you said you came in for the Shevchenko fight, right? So the first 2 fights, neither one of us saw live. I did get to see all the highlights.
I did not watch the first ever fight won without a strike. I will not watch it. I watched the Silva fight, and it was the
It's funny because Chris Weidman was the guy that broke Silva's leg.
Yeah, they said it was the same check,
Mhm.
the same check, same kick.
I saw a side-by-side of the 2 images.
Yeah,
It's exactly.
And they said the only difference on this one was this guy actually tried to plant his foot back, and I'm so good on that.
He tried to plant his foot back, and it didn't plant.
Good.
That's so crazy that he didn't even know it was broken, though. Like, he went back.
That's that adrenaline, dude. That's that adrenaline. That's.
But yeah, crazy. I saw a top, like a side-by-side view of Silva's and Weidman's, and it's the exact same kick, same check, same fold place, everything.
That's crazy.
But he did shout out from his hospital. He's fine. They had to put some titanium poles down in his legs. So now next time he kicks, he's gonna be kicking with steel legs.
You think all fighters will start doing that when they're 18, just going to get rods?
Just going to get rods, maybe. If people keep checking like that. I haven't heard.
And that dude he was facing is swole as fuck.
Elijah Hall or whatever, or Uriah Hall, whatever his name is.
If he clean checked,
it was nice. It was a good check. It was a good kick. It was good everything.
He tried to plan it. Was it like twisted?
It was rubbery. It wasn't twisted. So when he just put it down, it just rubbered. It just rubbered down.
Oh my god!
It was literally like putting down like a rubber chicken on the floor. Like that's what happened. So the first fight though. So yeah, shout out to Uriah Hall. He obviously didn't want to win that way, but he did. And hey, get a win. Do the first person to win without a.
Hey, he was supposed to lose that too, right?
I think so. Which who knows? Nobody got to actually fight. There was two punches thrown, or a punch and a kick. But the one right before that was Anthony Lionheart Smith. We didn't get to see that one either, but I don't know if you saw highlights. They were probably all overshadowed by all the other stuff that happened. But that one got doctor stoppage because he was just beating the mess out of this dude. And he was facing like a one-loss guy, a really good guy, and just crushed. I'm going to look up the stats. It was a 1-round fight. And after the first round, they already stopped him.
Holy shit.
He threw 26 significant strikes in the first round, 20 of them to his head, and had 3 times he dropped to the floor. So 3 takedowns, but it was from punching. And so at the end of the round, the doctor was like, nah, dude, you're good, bro. And that's crazy. I wish I would have watched the fight, but shout out to him. I don't know if you've seen Lionheart fight, but he's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
He doesn't block anything, which if he can throw more than you throw, and does more damage.
Yeah. And he's tiny too, right?
Yeah. Relatively.
I wonder if he's in O'Malley's weight class, or is he bigger than him?
I think he's bigger, but O'Malley's tall, so I don't understand weight that much. With
yeah,
that,
right.
O'Malley.
Who was it that's the same weight? KD
and Giannis? That's not true.
And Giannis.
Get out of here.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Same height and weight?
I don't believe that for a second. KD is like 7'1" for one thing. He's not 6'10".
True.
And he's skinny. He's not the same as Giannis.
But yeah, that card was awesome. I'm ready for an O'Malley fight. Conor McGregor's ready to fight again.
Well,
I'm
they're
good.
fighting. Him and Poirier are fighting again.
Oh yeah, June 6th.
Yeah, I think something like that.
June 6th. Yeah, I'm out on the Conor. It's not 2014 anymore.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep losing until. But shout out to him. He did just sell Proper 12. So he no longer owns. He sold it for $600 million.
Holy shit! That nasty shit.
So good on you, Connor. Still making that money, doing your thing. Now you get to go hang out with your sons and not have to worry about money. Not that he worried about money anyway.
Yeah, right.
But,
did you see his watch that he bought?
Yeah, he's ridiculous, dude. He's got so many good cars. He's got watches. He's got it all.
$1 million watch that'll break if he does that.
Oh, he doesn't wear that thing. He wears that for a camera, and then he takes that thing off and goes on. So let's shift gears now. Let's talk a little bit about soccer. LAFC has had two home games that I have not been able to go to because of California, but the word is California is getting ready to open up, hopefully, very, very soon. We're allowed to have, I think it's 5,000 fans at the stadium right now. So they've been doing kind of a lottery system for season ticket holders, and we have not gotten tickets yet.
I was going to say it'd be awesome if they just split them up and throw them on like right where the 3252 is on that side and then this side, but that totally defeats the
Well, no, what I did want to say though, so the tickets around are just a lottery system, right? Yeah. So they have the little pods just like everybody else is doing. But LAFC was the first sports team ever, I've heard now of a couple of other ones doing it now, to have a vaccinated section. So the 3252 is only for vaccinated people, and it's free reign. They're shoulder to shoulder. They're doing just what they were doing before. You just have to prove that you're vaccinated. If you don't prove you're vaccinated, you go sit in a regular seat like all these schools are.
Somebody on the Johnson & Johnson's going to be like, they're going to be like, hey, bro, you want the drum? Be like, no, it just won't stop.
But yeah, so they're starting to get those vaccinated sections. I saw the Dodgers are doing it, which is cool for the people that got vaccinated. They can go forget the world and just have time in a game. But LAFC has not gotten to play with Rossi or Vela, so the games have been kind of crappy. Nothing really to talk about, but
this last draw I didn't watch. Was it decent? Like, were you happy with the draw, or were you pissed off we weren't able to come out with the points?
I'm never happy with a home draw, but they were the better team. We scored 85 seconds in, fastest in club history, and then Seattle was better the entire rest of the game. Sure. I wish we could have come away with a win because they didn't score till near the end. We almost had a chance to pull it out, but we had no Vela, no Rossi. All we had is Atuesta. Kay was back to his just being the worst soccer player to have name recognition in the world. So, no, I'm not too mad. They scored a nice goal. It wasn't even, you know how last season we were always talking about our defensive just screw-ups. That wasn't the case. They just scored a nice goal. So, so far in 2 games, we haven't allowed any stupid defensive breakdown goals. So that's what I like to see. Hopefully that continues now that we have our defenders locked in and we've had some time with them, with Murillo, however you say his name.
Yeah, I was really wanting to see that matchup, especially after the Austin game, to see how our defense really was, because our defense looked really fucking good. Shit. Can't even think of the goalie's name. He was the backup. Cisniega. There we go. I had to Vermeer. Thank God Vermeer's gone. Yep. Cisniega is absolutely amazing. But it seemed like he doesn't have to do too much to try to. He's not sitting there yelling too much.
Right.
He's in position. I don't know if Vermeer just like trying to be the damn point guard and coaching the goalie and then get caught not in position and just give up dumbass goals. But Cisniega had 2 beautiful saves against Austin. And then on those corners, he didn't even really have to do anything. The defense was able to get those set pieces right the fuck out. And so I was really wanting to see the Seattle game that we always have problems on set pieces, always have problems on the defensive end. If they get into that last third quarter or last third, that last third, then we're pretty much fucked. And so I'm happy with the draw. I didn't watch it. I didn't even look at any stats or anything.
Right.
With the new job, I just kind of saw that it was a draw and said, yes. and let it be.
So is your new job sports as well? Like, can you see TVs and stuff?
No, there's one TV at the bar, and it's usually on ESPN. Yeah, but no. So the new job is outside. It's Rafiki Tiki. It's kind of like a tiki bar vibe.
Right.
It's outdoors. There's no indoor seating. So with it being outdoors, we don't even have to wear masks. Being in Florida,
right,
as the servers, which is awesome because I'm
Nice.
already. If you can't really tell, but there's a difference from here where my shirt goes to here where my arm is.
Nice.
Like I'm outdoors, so not having to wear
I
the
can
mask
kind of see it there.
and not getting the tan
True.
kind of
That'd be
line
the
thing going here.
worst.
Oh yeah, I'm happy with it. So no, it's awesome. I did want to shout out Manscaped, even though they don't hit us up anymore with new reads. Pretty sure you can go still use our
I think
code
so.
no scrubs, no spaces, no scrubs. But that fucking ball deodorant, bro, the anti-chafing cream, is coming in clutch.
Nice.
As fuck. Yeah, because like after 2 hours of being there, I felt like I hadn't taken a shower in days. But I don't shave. I'm good to go. It's amazing.
Yeah, shout out to them. We weren't kidding when we were talking about it. We weren't just doing it because of the ad. We actually went going up, about 2-3 more months after we stopped getting reads.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching all these podcasts and shit, getting their new spring fling, time to get the spring clean. Like, the fuck, we haven't gotten anything since COVID started.
Right. So we just rode with them because we love them, but you know how it is. That's the business, nature of the business. So what else? Do we want to talk about basketball at all?
Not really. We're on our like 15th
We'll wait till playoffs start probably.
Years.
So
yeah, we can do that. I'm wearing the Suns jersey, the Steve Nash Suns jersey. So either way, I'm good to go. Nets, Suns.
I'm super excited because I'm hoping that's the finals matchup. Actually, I'm not hoping that's the finals matchup because the Nets will win. But if the Suns don't win, I'm down for the Nets winning. I know you don't like KD, but I love Steve Nash. I don't like James Harden either, but
I don't mind James. I don't mind James at all. I don't mind Kyrie. He's just a weird fuck. Appreciate that shot heard around the world. Getting the Cavs the chip. KD's just a bitch. He's a sellout and he's a baby. Like, I don't like him. I would never like him as a person. He's a good basketball player, but it's because you're a freak. Yeah, like you don't have to be good. You just have been playing basketball for 20 years and you're fucking taller than everybody. You can run just as fast as the point guards. Like you're a fucking freak, bro. You better be fucking good. Like you better be good.
Is.
Yeah.
Him and LeBron both ways. I mean, they're genetically gifted and they used it to their advantage. So
yeah, absolutely. But LeBron's not like he's a bitch in his own way, but he's
the court, he's not at all. Though.
Exactly. Like you respect him. I like how he went after that Columbus bar that when he came out, he made a tweet. That he has since said that he shouldn't have made. He made it out of anger. But the Ohio cop that shot and killed that kid, he put a picture of them up saying "You're next."
And said "You're next."
After the George Floyd verdict, and so when that happened, this bar said they're not going to play any NBA games in their bar until he is expelled from the league. So LeBron tweeted saying, "Oh man, I was about to go there and get some drinks during the game. Oh well." And I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, LeBron's a good guy. He's a good dude. He does a lot with the billions of money he's made. Right. And you don't really hear anything like that from KD. All you really hear is how bitch made he is.
Yeah. But yeah, we got a couple more weeks in the regular season. So obviously next week will be our NFL draft special.
Hopefully this new coach on the Cavs will fucking make it through this season and we'll figure out a coach that we want to have around. Hopefully we don't.
It's so funny when these losing teams do that. Like,
it's stupid.
You guys knew you were gonna lose. Like that's
but we didn't even really know that. We thought we were going to get Kevin Love back healthy. We had a full year of Garland. We got Colin Sexton and Darius Garland working together. We have Okafor helping out. Okor helping us out on the defense. Okafor didn't sound right. Isaac Okor helping us out on the defensive end, and he's came out really being able to shoot the ball too. We've got Dylan Windler, but he got hurt, so he missed a long stretch. Kevin Love missed a long stretch. Colin Sexton got hurt for like 4 weeks. Darius Garland was hurt for like 3 weeks. And we haven't really had that full team to play with.
But that's what I mean by you knew you were going to lose. Like, coach wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, but for us to fire JB, well, I think it was about like 2 weeks ago now, just because of us losing, like he came in and stepped up when we fired Boeheim last year and stuck around with this team in the offseason. He could have easily went and got back into the assistant game where he's been since he was a head coach fucking 8 years ago. Like, he could have been doing what he likes to do. But he stuck with this organization as the head coach and believed in this team. And the organization said, fuck you. Shout out to the organization, though. They keep helping out old Nick. But, yeah, fuck them.
So who's your new coach now?
They suck. It's another assistant coach that isn't going to be there next year. It's just an up and coming young dude.
Just an interim guy.
Yeah. The players like him after our fucking 4-game losing streak after firing JD. We got to win. And they all doused his ass, and then we lost to the next game. So fuck him. Like, I'm so good on this. Like, we're getting really good picks. I didn't really agree with the core pick last year because there was more offensive weapons that we could have got.
Right.
But defensively, I like it. Other than our bigs, we don't have any defense. Sexton's not defense. Scarlett's not defense. Matthew Dellavedova, it's damn sure not defense. So, like, I like the core pickup. But, yeah, other than that, it's fucking Seti and Dean Wade on defense pretty much.
Well, this is going to be a good draft. You guys could get Cade Cunningham if you keep losing and win that lottery.
And I said that whenever he showed up and didn't show out, I said, I'm still down to get this motherfucker.
Right.
I'm so down for him. Yeah.
There's a lot of great. If you guys get top like 5 picks, you should be fine.
He's 6'8", and he can slide into the 4 and throw Nance down to the 5, and that would just be an athletic, crazy-ass small ball team that could destroy a lot of these new small ball teams.
You guys are going to get that white boy from Gonzaga, Kispert.
I'll fucking kill you.
He's just...
Don't even play like that.
Hey, he's good, though.
I'll take fucking, what's his name, the freshman who should have stayed another year.
Suggs?
Yeah, I'll take Jalen.
Yeah, Suggs will probably be the first Gonzaga guy off, honestly. And then that Mobley guy from USC, but maybe you guys will win a lottery and get one of those good guys. It'd be nice. Yeah, we'll talk about the playoffs because the Suns will clinch here. They're not playing today. So, well, they're probably going to lose to the Clippers tomorrow. So if they win, though, they'll clinch the playoffs for the first time in, I think, like 11 years or something. So,
yeah, that's why I asked if it was date night because I saw that you were watching TV and you don't have a dog in any fights tonight.
No, I was watching the Warriors just get drubbed by the Mavs.
Yeah, they're on Bleacher Report they have I'm a Cavs fan, so we can do like a Cavs thread, and that if like we're getting dragged, they could pick through and be like posted in Dubs getting dragged, and that's what it was, and just all the fans are just Kerr sucks, like
it was terrible.
Trade Wiggins and just all this dumb shit. Like, bro, calm the fuck down.
Oubre is rough. Bro, I don't know what it is. He looked so good for us last year, and now he's just...
And he looked really good at the start, too.
Yeah, that's true. Now he can't even hold on to a ball. Like, it's looking like he was in Space Jam and got his powers taken away.
Really?
Yeah, he had... I saw a thing on Instagram, like a little, I guess, GIF, but a kind of a long moving video. Of him this one, like it was like a 1.5 minute stretch. He had 4 turnovers because it was just a bunch of fast breaks and he was dribbling it out of bounds. He like threw it over the backboard, like just stupid stuff.
Well, hey, good for him. And fuck that sellout team.
And making like what, 13 mil or something for it too. So yeah, he doesn't care.
But I just thought, so we watched Mortal Kombat. We're not going to do any spoilers on this show, but
that's a sport, kind of.
I'm thinking the one thing we do know for a fact is there will be more.
Yeah.
We don't know if they're going to pull an Avatar and wait fucking 12, 13, 15 years.
Which is next year, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited as fuck. I'm so excited for it. But actually, it's this year.
No, it's December.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I saw last year it was 21. But yeah. So I don't know when it's going to be. But do you think Space Jam might work something into where, because we saw the trailer and it looks nothing at all like the original, which we're starting to learn on these remakes, The Lion King, all this shit. The original is the original, and this is different. I mean, shout out to Lion King. Out of all these new remakes coming out, they probably held true to the story the most, which they didn't. They probably would have had an uproar against their Disney fans, which are far out there. There's a lot, and they're crazy as fuck. But I could definitely see this new Space Jam coming out and having some kind of storyline to it and having more of them.
Yeah, I could see that as well, especially since they have like a real villain now that, because the Mondo Mountain guy wasn't like he was the real villain, but he didn't have a role really, other than just talking shit on the little aliens. But it looks like the guy that they actually hired a real good actor for, so he
Cheetah
could be around.
That's my guy.
What's
That's
his name?
about the only thing. Cheadle, something.
Oh,
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, that's my guy. He's the shit. I'm excited for that. But yeah, and it seems like and there was really no personal grudge. It was just he wanted to have basketball talents. Yeah, like he wanted his talents. With this, it seems like a little more personal. Like there's more than just like if you want to leave here, like if you want your kid, like you're gonna do what I say, and his kid's like, I'm gonna play against you. So I can definitely see some kind of storyline now that I've seen Mortal Kombat. I liked the
Somebody
action.
getting arrested over there?
Dude, I live in Riviera Beach. It's just like where you used to live. Like you feel safe in your apartment, you feel safe where you live, but 5 minutes every other fucking direction isn't the best. So yeah, they're probably going 5 minutes away.
Nice.
Yeah, the police station's right down there. But no, if I was born in 2000 and I had never seen the original Mortal Kombat and I heard about the games and all that shit and had watched clips of all the fight fatalities, holy shit, I would really have liked it. The only thing I wouldn't have liked is there was one blase fatality. There was only one time dude said finish him, and that was the one thing. Like
there was one where he said flawless victory, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's I want that every fucking time. Like even in the video game, you don't see the announcer. Even when you're doing the campaign mode, you don't see the announcer. Right. You just know there's a guy there. So I want that. That's part of it. When fucking I'm not spoiling it, but not that first one. That was the best one.
Right.
That should have been the one where it's like fucking it's squirting on the fucking camera like in the video game, and it's fatality.
Yeah. And then he stands there and the guy has no head, and then he does something cool.
Yeah, it was just I mean, it was dope as fuck. I'm so happy that they incorporated his hat into that first one. That was fucking sick as fuck.
Yeah, the movie ended up being good, but I fooled myself for some reason thinking it would be just a complete remake, like scene for scene, just not from the 80s.
My new word, reboot.
Yeah.
It's a reboot. All these things are reboots. It sucks. I would I would love the technology we have today.
Exactly. I wanted it to be the exact same thing.
Fucking movie with today's technology. Yeah. It would be absolutely fucking incredible.
But it had pretty much all the same characters. It had cool fight scenes. It had it had a storyline. You just have to remove yourself from the old Mortal Kombat and get back into it. But it was a good movie.
They did what they sought out to do. They wanted to intrigue the older generation and also and
create their own movie.
Capture the new generation and create their new, because there's going to be 3 or 4 of these things. Hopefully,
clearly.
Spoiler alert, we're going to do something. I'm going to say something here. Hopefully there's a fucking tournament in this next one. But other than that, I'm excited that there's going to be more, but the tournament doesn't happen very often, so hopefully we fucking get there
once every 1,000 years or whatever is what they say in the old one, the original one. They didn't say that in this one, but it's funny because they did kind of remake part of it where they were like, there's been 9 and this is the 10th one. So like the timeline was the exact same.
And even with Jax had been new. Like he was already like that had been happened. So for it to happen,
right? It was like an older timeline.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking fucking Mortal Kombat 4 will finally be where we were in the last fucking movie.
And Kane and all those guys are in the old one. They're further along the timeline. That's
we don't even fucking know who Johnny Cage is, and I
whatever.
swear to God, if it's the Miz, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
All right, so before we start spoiling too much stuff, but hopefully the Miz is not Johnny Cage. What else can we talk about? I think we're pretty much done. What else do we got? Any shout outs for you?
Shout out Russ. Got Wilt Chamberlain's triple-double record for a month.
And he's clapping back at everybody again.
Yeah, he's saying I impact the game in many ways.
Did you hear what him and Stephen A were going between each other saying?
No.
So Stephen A said something about, yo, it don't matter if you can't win a championship, you're not a champion. Like, we don't care about your stats. You want to be a champion. And Russ, very classy. Russ said, I was a champion as soon as I made it into the NBA.
Hey.
Basically, like, what? Everybody's champs here, bro.
I like that.
So,
he never sold out. If he could have easily
didn't.
sold out and
Yeah.
got a chip, like
Oh, yeah.
easily. Like there's no.
And
there's
he's
none
getting
of
his
these
team in the
top-tier
playoffs, I
teams.
think. The Wizards are fighting, bro.
Oh yeah,
So,
him and Bradley Bill are going to create something special there. I feel like, and then being in the East, all they have to do is worry about the Nets over there. And if you don't think him seeing his former teammates over there isn't going to put another chip, that he has a whole fucking casino.
he doesn't want
chips.
Harden to get a ring if he doesn't have one.
Yeah, he already has a fucking whole casino full of chips on his shoulders. If that's not going to be an extra one, you're fooling yourself. So
Right.
yeah, they're a mature Rudy Hachimura away and a really solid defensive three. They don't need any more offense. The two of them can put up 60.
Yeah.
And the other four people will just put up 8 or 9 points and we'll get the fucking dub. So
True.
they just need defense on that team, and it's all pretty much Russ and is it Rudy Hachimura? Rui. And it's just pretty much them two. And Rui's fucking like 20 years old right now. So
yeah,
that team's going to be something special.
And that guy that they got from Israel that just doesn't play. I don't even know if he's in the NBA right now or if he's still in Israel and they just have his rights or whatever. Avicha or a Jensa or something. I don't know.
How about that young fucking Israel-looking kid that's 7'1" that just fucking committed?
It looks like
Gonzaga,
Durant. That's
bro.
like he's 7'1", but he's like 83 pounds.
I've been watching his clips for like 2 years now. The kid's ridiculous. He's just white, but he's 7'1",
Yeah,
so he doesn't have to have ups. He's quick. He has dribbles.
He looks like Italian or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's crazy how long he is though. Like he is a lanky, skinny. You think he'll put in work in the weight room, or he'll just stay Kevin Durant looking? You think he'll like Giannis and bulk out, or
I think he has that same kind of whatever the fuck genetically special thing he has, like KD has, to where he just can't. I eat fucking all day, every day. I just can't gain weight.
He's about to roll. And then the other guy went to the G League, the other top.
Oh, we did get a top guy go to the G League?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
I think he was number 2 right under that 7'1" guy.
That's awesome.
So shout out to the G League, trying to make it happen.
I like that.
I will not shout out the Dodgers because they have the same problem that they always have. No closers. Yet everyone says we have the best rotation, or not the rotation. The rotation, we do have the best. They say we have the best bullpen, and that is not even close to true. I think we've doubled up everybody else and blown saves already this year. It's ridiculous.
Well, shout out the Red Sox. We're killing it. And the only teams we have to worry about so far are the Royals, the Athletics, and the White Sox are actually starting to play good. So we got to worry about the White Sox. The Mariners are playing great ball right now. But, yeah, I'm not worried about the fucking Royals and the A's whatsoever. So shout out to us. Shout out to Aaron Boone getting thrown out of a game today, trying to act like he gives a fucking save his job. I thought when I saw Aaron Boone on the TV today that he was getting fired because it's going to happen. That team sucks. They keep swinging for the fences.
They've sucked ever since he became the manager.
They swing for the fences. That's his strategy. Get home runs. And that's never going to work in the game of baseball. Ask Barry Bonds. Ask him how many rings he has. Like, it's not going to happen. It's just
Mark McGwire.
Baseball
Sammy
isn't
Sosa.
Built that way. It's not ever going to be won that way. It creates a hell of a game. These high-scoring games are awesome. But whenever you get to them series where you're playing 7 games against fucking Kershaw and fucking Bauer and them boys, it doesn't even matter getting to fucking Jensen scrub ass. You're already fucked by then. Like, oh yeah, and you got to deal with fucking Betts and all them fucking bats. Yeah. So yeah, you're fucked. So yeah, I'm not worried about the Yankees. I'm hopefully Aaron Boone stays. I'm down for it. I'm so down for it. The Astros fucking suck. Shout out to them. That makes me want to go.
I know, it's exciting.
So I'm thinking I want to make a sign, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of do a double sign, like tape them together to where, because they're definitely probably still butthurt and sensitive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I'm just gonna say, bring back the trash cans. They have more of a ring to them.
Hey.
Get it? A ring to them. Yeah.
All right.
and see if I make it on TV.
You probably
before I
would.
turn
Yeah,
them out.
I can see that. Although we'd be in Texas, so they'd show you. If
Yeah.
it was in Houston, then they might not show
Well,
you.
Houston's in Texas.
Texas
But
Rangers.
the Rangers
Yeah.
aren't in Houston.
We'll be in Arlington, I guess.
Yeah.
In
So
Texas Stadium, or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, because Austin's near Arlington, right?
Mhm.
It's up in the.
It's about an hour and a half drive, so we're just gonna jump on the bus.
And if we need any propane
And propane accessories.
we can go to Arlen, which is
Jeez,
right
that was
outside of Austin.
Nostalgia, baby.
Isn't it only? It's Arlen's right outside of
I
Austin.
have no clue where that
And
is.
King of the Hill.
No, I know that, but I don't know where it is.
I wonder if Arlen, Texas is real. Let me look this up real quick. If it's real,
Whatever.
and I said we were going to go to the fucking Grand Canyon that was an hour and a half away, and we didn't fucking do it.
Right. So let's get an outro here that's not Arlen, Texas.
There's no Arlen, Texas.
Okay.
Maybe it's not even the right thing, but I thought it was Arlen. I don't know the right outro, man. I actually, you know what? I got it.
All right.
I got it. I'm out here. So Thursday's the draft, and all these kids who have been working their ass off to make it to this point in time. It's the first round Thursday, so there's only going to be 32 names called, but these 32 guys have been working their ass off since they were like 12, 13 years old, and knew that they were just special. They were bigger than everybody else. They were quicker than everybody else. But there's a lot of these guys who were the same as them when they were that age, who just ended up going down the wrong path or just didn't put in the work and try their ass off. And they're sitting there watching their best friends that they used to play in high school with, or their good friends that they played with in college until they dropped out their sophomore year because they just didn't put in that extra effort, that extra oomph. And those guys there are scrubs. Don't be like those guys. Be like Trevor Lawrence. Be like Justin Fields. Be like all these names that are going to be called on night one. Be a stud and not a scrub.